This episode of Trek is brought to you in part by the Mokhtar Fleet and the fine makers of dummy Mark IV torpedo casings at Dummy Mark IV Torpedo Casing Productions Incorporated. It's okay.
11 piece of equipment, and then special reserve, and then you can choose between your Mako and Omega ground sets. The Omega ground set is more tactical, less defensive, and the Mako is more defensive.
Ooh, a ground one.
It wasn't intended, but here it is. We'll do space next.
Okay, let me switch to my weapon stuff.
I think I'll put some armor on.
Put some clothes on, Sarah.
It's kind of cold on this ship.
The Ambassador class. PvP ship? You may think not. But I'm about to prove so. Having survived the last match only dying once, and having killed once, I believe she may be viable with the correct tactics and the correct parts. But that is up for you to decide.
Okay, so Jupiter Force has had a party on their starbase to show off the season Tier 4, which is pretty cool. And this is the party on the instance inside the base. There might be a few people outside still. I'm not sure. Sure, they're making their way inside, and this is what we're looking at now. So we'll see people later.
Okay, here we're picking up from where the last episode came out. Again, it is still the 18th of May, so both episodes are out today. I was here on Mol Rehan, or New Romulus, as it will come to be known. At this point in the story, you are just now beaming down and taking a look at the whole place. The brand new bridge that spans from one side of that canyon to the other side doesn't exist yet. This is New Romulus as it was found by you, the player captain, before Catan said, All right. So I'm imagining on your Romulan character, or Reman, but your Romulan Republic character. I would imagine every time you play your Romulan Republic character, when you talk to D10 and a lot of other people in the Romulan Republic, I have a feeling you're going to run into a constant thank you. This would not be possible without you, especially from Deton. Deton seems to be that way about that sort of stuff. Anyways, here we're on New Romulus. We're running around. We're scanning plants and radiation levels, water, glowing plants, resonating rocks. Everything you scan on New Romulus currently on holodeck, as well as on Tribble, because New Romulus on Tribble, at least for a non-Romulan character, is the same. But anyways, so you run around, you check the place. Admiral, her Deton's second in command, I think his name is Temek, or Timur. He's he'll ask you every once in a while, "What are you finding? What have you found? Tell me. I'm excited." And pretty much he's like Scotty, looking for something better than Starfleet Bonnie Nips. And but anyways, you run around, you check out, the life forms, you check out the rocks, you get a look at plants, water samples, radiation samples. And so you're being introduced to Mulry Han, New Romulus, well before anything has been set up there. Before anything like the ruins have really been found, you're the first one on the planet from the Romulan Republic. You say, why that distinction? Well, you'll find here towards the end of this particular mission that's running right now, you're going to have some surprise visitors. You can probably guess who it is, and if you've already played the content since it went into open beta, as it's been for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, those of you who have already played, you're watching, you're saying, I know who it is. Shh, keep it to yourself. I don't want the people that haven't played but are watching to know before they find out on their own when we get to that part in the mission. See, there's that Timur. He's going, hey man, what have you found? And it's up to you to say, oh, nothing much. It's just a barren rock. Or, this is absolutely where we're going to live, yeah. Or, preliminarily, it's looking good. Let me get back to you. And he'll say, oh, okay. And then you'll go on and you'll keep going. Because basically what it is, you send him a message, hey, this is a planet that looks like it's going to be habitable. We're going to do some scans. We're going to go ahead and go down to the planet and scan. And in that time, he makes it from the flotilla to where you're at to see what's going on. So we keep scanning everywhere. The path takes us down over to about where the ruins are. That's just a really, really good looking area. We're gonna let you watch it as it moves around here for a minute, and then we'll come on back. So all that scanning probably went on for another 5 to 10 minutes. This is just about the end of the scanning here. And now we're going to head up a path here. And there we go. I'm looking at the map to see where I'm at, and where I'm going, what I'm doing. Close map. Close map. There we go. So we're walking up this way. I think there's 1 or 2 things left to scan. Oh, here we go. Here's a cutscene. And what's on? Ooh, look at that. Tholians. They're big, they're bad, they're nasty, they're ugly, they're the Tholians. And here's our bridge officer Tovin Kev. He's going, hey man, those are Tholians over there, man. Dude, those are Tholians over there. Here, you hold this for me. I can't get caught pinching again, man. No, I'm just kidding. He's not carrying anything. He's not holding, and asking you to hold for him instead. But yeah, he's pretty much, he pops this. Hey man, I know those are Tholians. We might not want to mess with them if we don't have to. So here you go. On this particular map of Mulrihan, you don't have places that you can hop over the edge that you would be able to hop over the edge on the normal map. Anyway, so we head over here to where the ruins are, and we're running over that way. It's a good ways away from where we saw it, because I believe where we just were is where one of the spans go across. Okay, alright, here we go. We've made it to the edge of the ruins. Going on down further into the ruins. We're still a couple pixels away on the map. Here we go. And here they are. They're looking at something. They're interested in a particular rock over there. A little geode. And, oh! Intruders! This is our planet. It's not the Tholians' planet. In fact, 2,000 years ago, right after the Sundering, the first bunch of Romulans, who at this time were still just Vulcans that had been kicked, either kicked out or chose to leave. Depending on whose side of the story, who's telling the story, is those who chose to leave or were kicked out, depending on who tells the story, from Vulcan. And they tried to settle on this planet, and then inevitably, of course, Romulans being the Vulcans that did not take Sarek's teachings to heart, and therefore were still warriors, still emotional. They came here. Inevitably, they end up having a war with each other, with themselves. And then they nuke the planet, and survivors make their way to Romulus and Remus. And so, this planet was once settled as a homeworld for what would become the Romulans. Back when they were still just, slightly ticked off Vulcans that had left home. Essentially, they were the teenagers that left home. But unlike Canada, they didn't leave home and still try to keep the homeland's currency. They got their own currency going. Sorry about that, Canada. I just had to throw that quick jab out there. Like, hey, even the Romulans didn't try to keep their homeworld's currency. They became their own homeworld with their own currency. But just kidding, Canada. Don't come down here. Don't come down here and try to hurt me. In New Zealand. I'm just kidding. I'm not in New Zealand. I'm in North America, in the Central Time Zone area. But just a little tiny jab there. Please don't hate me, Canadians. Some of my best friends are Canadian. Alright, so now we're running around. We've checked that geode sample, and we need to do something else real quick before we leave the planet, I believe. As it turns out, a little bit of a spoiler here, if you haven't already seen this, the geode is possibly Shaharian's sword. The raptor, well, poop. I don't remember the name of the particular raptor. I think it's just the raptor sword. And there may be something else to that raptor and sword, but I'll guarantee you it's the raptor. It might be the raptor's ring itself. But so here I've kind of passed out there. Let's see if I don't get rezzed. Yes, it looks like I'm about to be rezzed here. Here we go. Oop. Oop, if that Tholian does get him, okay. Oh, Tholian got him, but I was already up by that time. So here we're fighting the Tholians right here in this little basin in the middle of the ruins. I've already checked the geode, I think, or I may have been unable to as I was in combat. I'm not sure. I'm 100% on that. It's been weeks since I recorded this. And I'm watching this on the tiniest screen possible because it's just a little preview spot within the editor. But yes, I'm running around. I think I might not even be Centaurian yet. And I have to take care of these Tholian lieutenants and ensigns, and I think there's a commander even at some point. Once they're defeated here on the ground, we go up to space, and yes, okay, here we go. Now I get to actually, I did get interrupted, so now, and we'll see here, I'll scan it, destroy the deal, get the geode. The geode has some good news. I let Temek know. After Satra here, I believe that's Satra, tells me, hey, you know, this might be one of Sarian's swords, so we should pass this on to New Romulus Command, pass this on to Timur. And so here we go. I'm talking to Timur now. Oh, this is very possible. This is great news. If that is the Raptor's, whatever the exact name for it is, I think it's Raptor's Claw, isn't it? I don't know. Anyways. And, so he says, well, you know, beam it up to the ship and bring it back to the flotilla with you, but I've got Tholians up here. Can you come help me now? So we will. We'll go up and help him. Looks like I'm sitting there reading. You know, it's a new experience, so of course I did reading. Yeah, so I probably sat there for like 4 or 5 minutes before I finally said, yeah, okay, let's continue the mission. That may even have been a point where I took a bio break. Do remember, as a community message here, do remember to take the occasional bio break and make sure you're getting plenty of water or Gatorade along with your sodas and energy drinks. Please try to keep your energy drinks down to just the minimum you would need to have the energy to play your game. I mean, it's personal preference. I'm just out there to say, hey, don't kill your kidneys and take 10 years off your life because you have to have an energy drink. Or certainly don't do the energy drink by itself. Have some water on hand so that you have enough water to keep yourself hydrated. That's the biggest damage done by any drink that amps up your caffeine is severe dehydration. And the severe dehydration will end up messing up your whole body, but especially your kidneys. So just keep plenty of water or Gatorade type stuff around on hand to go along with stuff like your Monster or Full Throttle or Red Bull, whatever energy drink you're running with, because those energy drinks, they're diuretics, and they bump up the caffeine in your system to get you jazzed and awake and ready to do what you need to do, and then they dehydrate you. So stay hydrated. Whoops. And so, okay, so we defeated the Tholians. There's Demur. He's saying, hey, yeah, alright, yeah, this preliminaries on the sword looks like it really is, it might be one of Shaharian's swords, the Raptors, you know, whatever. And time to go back to fight more of these guys, because there's more of them coming. Okay, keep going. And so we battle through that, and then we move on. Wow, would you look at that explosion? Holy cow. Okay, here's Timur again. See, I don't remember if this is the end of the mission or if there's another wave coming. Seems like, I want to say it seemed like there was 2 or 3 waves of these guys, and we've only been through 2 on the video so far. Of course, I've shortened that down to, you know, you guys don't need to see, I don't think you guys need to see every inch of Rosh rinse repeat type stuff. That's maybe something I'm going to kind of try and keep to a minimum where I can. Certainly during a live stream through the Google Hangouts, like I was talking about in the other episode there. Once we go to Google Hangout and we're running live stream, you'll see a lot of it. And then for those that don't make the live stream, when you watch it on YouTube, I will have it shortened and cut to just, you know, what's absolutely needed for you to see and get the idea behind what's going on in the missions. Here it looks again like I've sat for a minute or two reading, so let's see, I'm going to cut to the chase as much as I can. Oh, it looks like I'm already just about there. Yeah, okay. So now we're going to leave New Romulus, as it's about to be called. I believe they've worked into the map before you discover it as New Romulus. It is called Dua, or Dua 3 system. As, like I said yesterday, that's Caveat. You know, it's just a pet peeve that in this game they break the immersion by calling the entire system by the name of the planet that you're going to. Instead of saying go to Dua 3, it says go to Dua 3 system. Okay, so now we're done there, and now it looks like we're going to go over to the... Let's see where we're going. It looked on the map like we were going to the Suliban system for the Helix mission, but I've already shown you all the Helix mission, and I did that well before this. So I'm not sure exactly where or why we're going, but we're going to go. Of course, here's several minutes of travel, or maybe only 2 or 3 minutes of travel, but I'm going to cut the travel time, so be right back. So there's about a minute or 2 worth of travel that we were able to cut out of the video for this episode. Here we go. Transfer screen. I'll probably try to keep those cleaned out of it a bit where I can, but maybe not. You know, they're kind of pretty good looking screens now. So now we've beamed down to something, or did we go back to the flotilla? Oh, I think this is back on the flotilla. Yeah, this is back on the flotilla. I think this is, we gotta go talk to Detan, and maybe Timur, and possibly rank up and whatnot. Of course, here I've got the map showing the whole time running around in there. So, let's see. yeah, so this phase of the mission is actually come in here and talk to D10. So we'll talk to D10 real quick. Tell him, hey, look, we found this great planet. It looks like it's what's going on. I think we found the Raptor's edge, or the Raptor's sword, or the Raptor, something about the Raptor sword. He says, oh yeah, okay, great. You've possibly found this sword. That's great on its own, but you found a planet that we can settle on, and we can actually have a rural deal. But here, before we can settle this planet, now you need to go and to Kittimer, and we need to sit down and talk with the representatives of both the Federation and the Klingon Defense Force. And you need to make a decision on who you're going to ally with, and both are going to help us. So each captain will help with each other, and unfortunately, we may have to fight each other on that side of the battle. I hate it. I would hope that you wouldn't have to, but if you do, but let's go talk and see who's going to help us. So it comes down to being your personal choice. After you play the Kittimer mission and you get the Klingons to trust you because Temek does something that the Klingons see as honorable, and then it's up to you when you get back to the flotilla. After the Kittimer, you get told to go back to the flotilla, talk to the representative, the ally representative, and which is another Romulan on the base, and then you say, well, okay, I've decided, and then you tell them who you've decided on, and once you've got that decision made, it's it's pretty much flat, paste, and cut. Okay, well, this is who your ally is from now on. From now on, the other side is technically your enemy. And all that jazz. And so now you're talking to Timur here, and Timur says, "Great, now we're gonna go here, and we're gonna talk to the KDF and the Feds, the Federation and the KDF, and we're gonna decide who wants to be our ally based on who has the best attitude with us and who's more willing to help." And when you're choosing your side, you are told at that point that it's not something that can be undone. I mean, of course, there's always roll another character and have two Romulans and have one go left, one go right. It's one of your options. Your other options, just completely delete the character after you're done playing all the KDF content. I don't know many people that will invest level 1 to 50 in a character just to delete them and do it all over again. I mean, it's possible. It does have it from time to time, but it's not something I see as something that'll happen real bad. Okay, so it looks like I sit here and talk with Tamer for a little while, so I'm going to see if I can advance a little bit. So now I've transwarped here, and I've actually landed right outside of Kittimer. I'm going right in, land on the Kittimer's receiving pad, and we'll walk around the station. Your characters will say, "Oh, hey, I wonder what you have to do to get into the Warriors Hall. I'll bet it was kill a lot of Romulans." Stuff like that. So you walk around, you get all the way through this mission, you go in and you talk to the people you have to, and then you end up at a ceremony. And, well, I think I'm just going to cut to this ceremony. Basically, I mean, this mission will be self-explanatory when you actually run it. But you run around and you go, hey, so you're so-and-so with the Federation, you're so-and-so with the, whatchamacallit. You get in a position where, Hiro Takahito, or whatever his name is, who happens to be the father of Keiko O'Brien. He's a talker, and he will talk forever and talk your ears off, especially if you're a brass monkey. He's pretty much, as they would say in prison, he's got monkey mouth. So yeah. So you run around and talk to all these guys, and you fetch a Klingon some blood wine, blah 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 blah. Long story short, then you go into the ceremony room and you actually have this ceremony. So we'll cut to that chase. So real quick, I almost forgot. Here you run around, you talk to some of these people real quick. Before you get down to the ceremony, there's a real quick disturbance. As you're about to see, there'll be a cutscene here in a moment after you get done talking with all of the representatives that you have to talk to. And I think you might or may not be surprised by who shows up. I'll give you a hint. Oh yeah, bad case of the yawns. It may or may not be somebody that would be voiced by Denise Crosby, and she may or may not currently be the Empress. So now, yeah, I don't know where I'm running. I'm running. Run. Whoops. Run. Okay, so yeah, so apparently, yeah, we have to go over and talk to... Oh, right, we come back and we talk to D10. Now here's our cutscene, and cue the biggest whore in all of the Alpha Quadrant. I say whore because she whores out the entire quadrant without even the proper authority to whore out the Romulan space, let alone the entire quadrant, to the Hydrogen and the Elachi. But here we go. She's like, "This is a farce. You're not trying to start a colony. You're trying to break away from your sovereign. Blah 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 blah." The you know, they're trying to convince, you know, big spiel that, hey, you know, these people that they say came and were with us, they're not. Whoever attacked them, nobody really attacked them. They're lying. They just want to be their own country, and they don't have that right because I'm the sovereign of Romulan space, the Romulan Empire. You know, long live Romulan Empire. Blah blah blah. Pretty much at which point Tova and Kev is just getting like, "Oh, I'm gonna freaking cut your head off and spark it, sailor." And then Detan's like, "Okay, you two, go back to your warbird. Leave this to me and Timur. We'll make it through this." By her actions alone, you know, he doesn't say it, but as much as is implied, by her actions alone, our future allies will know that, you know, she's just going on a rant. You know, blah blah blah. So, long story short, we go up to the ship here, and then we're going to do our own investigation of what's going on. Because apparently there's some anomalies. Now it turns out the spoiler here: the Elachi are helping the Tal Shiar get around in subspace. And I think you're saying warp drive. You do go through subspace, right? You go through a particular layer of subspace, but the true subspace, where the Elachi apparently live, is up there. It's out there, and it can be traveled faster than normal subspace. So we go through this big long out battle of fighting all these guys. We pick up Captain Gerard sees us and says, "Hey, you know, there you go. Thanks for helping us fight the Tal Shiar. But since Hakeev didn't die, this could just be a ruse. But you know, I'll remember your actions, and should it turn out that they were honorable, I will stand by them completely." See here, gone through and confronted at least two of them, one or two of them by now. Here's Captain Dry going, thank you. I shall fight with you this day. And so here, here in just a second, pretty much, you're gonna find out that you're starting to get under Hakiv's skin. You know, you jerk. Every time I turn around, you're there trying to ruin my plans. But no matter, this time we shall get you. Blah 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 blah. We find out during the Romulan story arc that as the player captain, we're the reason behind him. Our Romulan character is the reason behind him losing his one eyeball. Eventually, and his favorite ship. So here we go. We're continuing the battle, and we, pretty much kick butt or we don't. We have to kick butt. So. And so here we kick butt. Gerard's impressed, but he says, I'm impressed, but since you didn't completely destroy him and blow him up, and he escaped with his life, I don't know if I can fully believe that you, actually, this could be a concocted story by the entire Romulan Empire to catch us off guard. But I'll remember your actions this day. And then there's something here we get hollered at because, hey, whoa, they found some stuff. Akiv, before he left, Akiv beamed some stuff down. Pretty much it's an instruction set to run around and find these bombs. You find the bomb, and then you find that whoever's sitting right next to the bomb fights you. He is that person is a Tal Shiar's plant, Tal Shiar agent. But it seems to primarily exist of Romulan Tal Shiars made to look a little more Vulcan so that they can pass as Vulcan. And so that's the long story short on that one. You run around, you find them, it tells you where to find them. Like this one is apparently right over here. Just right in front of her, underneath this. This first one's actually on a support pillar in the Warriors Hall, or the Hall of Honor. That first area when you first walk into the station. Now the next one's in here. It's sitting underneath a Vulcan-looking diplomat when we get up in here. We'll get to him here in a second. Yeah, we gotta go through this doorway here. And right here, see, looks like a Vulcan Federation diplomat. And then, he starts firing at you. So you beat him. And he says, "You'll never win," just before he dies. Okay, so we disable that one. We go on, we keep disabling them until we get them all disabled except for one. And then you'll see what happens. And so these bombs are dispersed throughout the whole complex. And then here we are, we're in the meeting. There's one left by the time we get in here. And it will decloak here in a second, or beam in a second, right behind this one particular guy here. See, and there's Timur. He runs and says, "Stay back." He puts up a force field, and he grabs it, looks at the Klingon, and says, "Remember this." Klingon goes, "For me? For a Klingon. A Romulan gave his life for a Klingon." And it pretty much comes down to, hey, okay, yeah. And then now it's up here in a minute. It's up to you once you're all done. Yeah, I think we run back. We talk to Deton real quick in that room. Or we run down in here into this room and we talk to, we definitely talk to everybody, yeah, here we go. Talk to Deton. Wow. Unusually lethargic today. Wow. So we talk, and of course I sit here for a minute or two. So now we have to talk to the Klingon and the Federation delegates, and of course, Hero is like, oh yeah, that's great. Romulans usually don't do that. That's awesome. Whoa, hey, yeah, we're gonna talk to you for an hour, man, about 10 minutes worth of stuff. I've got about 10 of those, so got 10 hours worth to talk to you. And you're like, whoa, hey, all right, thanks. Oh, I think I hear D10 calling me. I've got to go see what he wants, man. He might have something important for me to come back and tell you. We'll talk again. God, that guy Hero, he talks a lot. So you talk to D10 for a minute. Of course, I sit here for a couple of minutes. So here we finish up talking to everybody at the conference, and we get sent back to the flotilla here in a second, which we'll go ahead and we'll go back to the flotilla, and we'll end up talking to whoever we've got to talk to. I think it'll be Detan, and the replacement for Tamer is Naval. And here's a lot of sitting and looking at a map. So now we're coming back to the flotilla, and yep, here we go. There's a cutscene with Naval, who replaces Timur. Blah blah blah. It's so horrible that Timur's gone. He did a good deed. I'm gonna try and do what I can and try to be as good as he was. I don't know if I can be. Blah 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 blah. Yakety smackety 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 smack. And then of course in her office sits somebody from the KDF, somebody from the Federation, being nice, and you're told go talk to him. Well, I decided I didn't need to talk to either. I just went ahead and told her, hey, Paul, hey man, I'm going to go on this particular character. I went with the Feds. Now after the wipe, I decided, since I played some of the Feds, since I played it Fed content side, I said, I'm going to go ahead and play it KDF now. So I have played both Fed and KDF content. And for the most part, the big difference is who your ally is and your costumes and the ships that you're allowed to get from the sea store, and respectively the fleet store as well. But otherwise, yeah, here's where it's and then both sides. And one side tells you, hey man, if you choose over here, you can't go back. And if you choose over there, then in the middle there's choose later. So that's probably a good 10-minute stop. I stopped here, so we'll cut that. So now I've chosen the Feds as my friends, and I'm I let her know, hey, yep, I definitely chose Fed, and then I get them instructions to go around and get my new level up stuff. I think I'm now on Centurion 1. I get a new ship. I get a new. I think this is the first extra trait spec here. You get to add traits at certain levels up. As it seems like every major level up, all the way up to 50 so far has a new trait you could add. I am speculating that when they up it to Fleet Admiral, that there will be one more trait, and a trait respec token, so that if you've already used all of your retrait tokens, you can retrait. And then there's definitely the chance to buy said retrait, so whatnot. And so here we get contacted we contact her, and then we're contacted by our new ally, asking us to come help him. And we'll go off and we'll help him. It started towards the working with our new allies as needed. There's some missions where they actually come in and help you. With the feds, they have to warp in. With the KDF, they've already followed you into the system. They're just cloaked and waiting on your signal. And then it goes back and forth. Like that, pretty much. The whole way. So... pretty much do quite a bit of just sitting here. So the next bit of mission, just before heading down to Ada Eridani to help our friends, we're told to go ahead and get our rank up stuff out of the way, get our new warbird, any new items installed on the new warbird, items that are still usable transferred from the old warbird, bridge crew from the old warbird transferred, new incoming bridge crew, maybe some new DOFs. I don't think, no, DOFs haven't come yet. DOFs don't, this level DOFs don't come until, I think, Centurion 11, I think, or Centurion 10. But yeah, I think it's level 18 when they come in now. Instead of back at 11, it now comes in at 18. So we take care of all of that, move stuff over. And then we're ready to head on and help. This is actually right after this is where I cut my recording of the new Romulus, because I had to go to work the next morning 2 hours after I was done recording because I lost track of time and played the Romulan content for 6 hours straight. So I got 5 hours and 48 minutes, and I've cut it down to get it to be a manageable story. As you see, I'm picking up the Delan. And so I created an easy to, or not an easy, I didn't create it, but yeah, I came to the point where that night I realized what time it was and had to cut it and go. I didn't want to be late for work the next day, and really didn't even get to lie down for the hour and a half to make up for the no sleep. I just went to work, muddled through the day, and came home. Luckily, it was just a cleanup day in between events, but we certainly got the job done. Or see, there I am looking at the map for the flotilla again. So the flotilla is a hub for Romulans, as well as the command center on New Romulus, the embassy, and then your factions hubs. You can go to each one of those, and then your fleet's hub. So the fleet star base, once you've joined a fleet, can get you there. So here, yeah, I go ahead and I think I'm adding a costume here to one of my characters. I'm not sure if it's me or a bridge officer, but I am adding a new costume, or certainly playing around with the costume. Oh no, here, yeah, I'm getting the Allies costume. So this reminds me to write down my current guy's information. This guy, because I want this guy when we get done, once we come to the holodeck here in a couple of days. I'd like to get a pretty good idea of who and where. I think this is Adak or Adidak or something like that. I had a really funny Romulan name. Just it seemed like a really good name when I picked it, and so I went with it. And I'll get that figured out here in a minute. Pretty much that's it. I mean, everything else on this video is pretty much self-explanatory, I think. So thank you, and hope you've enjoyed this series on the Legacy of Romulus closed beta play, and hope to see you on New Romulus as a Romulan in the new expansion here on May 21st, and anybody's welcome. I'm going to do a Google Hangout, so we can get a hangout. We'll have the normal party going on in the game, and I'll have that party in the game recorded. I don't think we'll get it into the hangout, but I'm going to try to do a live stream through Google Hangouts, starting with this event, and then in a couple of weeks we'll get the whole thing. And remember, no Tribble test servers were hurt in the filming of this project. We respect all test servers. Thank you.